So the sun's going to come out at some point and ruin the lighting, but I have got the lighting as good as I can get it. I need to fix the lighting in here. The problem is every time I leave the room, that thought just falls out of my head because I've got a lot going on at the moment. Nothing bad, nothing to worry about, just life being very lifey. And I've only got limited storage up here for this many things. So that means also, to keep this on topic broadly, progress has been slow on things. But I do have this off the loom. This came off the loom yesterday. Should have come off last week. It just wasn't, there was no progress. So I'm going to get to the end. It's not wet finished. I haven't even twisted the fringes yet. But this is the clasped weft, which is the purpley blue on that side and then the green on that side. I don't know what this purpley blue is. It was in my aunt's stash. It did not have a label. That's not true. It did have a label because I know what it is. It's acrylic and merino. But I have lost the label. So I don't know what the brand is, but I can tell you the fibre content. And this is, oh, great question. Crypto, Panda Crypto. I knew it had come back to me if I stared long enough at that wall. So this is the clasped weft. So one colour on each side. You can do, and I've seen people do it, and I'm a bit impressed. You can actually do a pattern with clasped weft. You can do skylines, you can do diamonds and squares and all the rest of it. I tend to just let the colours fall where they fall because I'm a bit slack. I would like to do, it would be fun to do like the Melbourne skyline or something, and one of these days, maybe, I did say there's not a lot of room for things up here, so that's a thought that's going to fall out of my head when I leave the room. So this I will get wet finished for next time, and there's a little plain weave at the end just to hold it all together. I'll get those fringes done, I'll get it wet finished. I don't expect much difference in the shrinkage or the bloom. This, as I said, does have some acrylic in it, and this is completely acrylic. So we'll see what happens. It would be interesting if I got some texture, but I'm not expecting to get texture. So do I have something on the little loom? Yes. Is it very fresh? Oh, it's probably the freshest we've ever had. It's so fresh. Let me just get these out of the way now. So here we go. So fresh. There's my hem stitching. Like normally I show you and the hem stitching's sort of here and I feel like I've achieved something. I mean, this is barely anything. Now this was not what I had planned for the little loom at this time. However, I went to the yarn shop yesterday to get some navy blue because I've got a lot of blues, but I didn't have a navy blue and I needed a navy blue for the yarn that I was going to use yesterday, which I didn't use because I'm using this yarn instead. This caught my eye. It is hot pink and purple, which is not something that I would normally go for, but for some reason I just thought, you know what? Let's have some hot pink and purple. Now, I knew it would be a lot by itself, so I went into the stash. So I am still stash busting because the white is from the stash, and I've mixed that with the white. And what we have here is a Fibonacci stripe sequence. So the Fibonacci stripe sequence, which I love because it gives you different stripes that are still balanced because of the maths. This is maths. Go me. So the Fibonacci sequence goes, in this case, 1, and then you take the sum total of the previous two numbers. So for this one, it's just 1 because there's only the 1 there. So then you've got 1 and 1, which is 2, 2 and 1, 3, 3 and 2, 5. And that's how you warp it. And then you can continue it right along if you have a wider loom, but I was going to run out of space. So it goes that way, and then the white one goes that way, just to give that sort of stripe balance. And that's going to break up that hot pink and purple a little bit and give a bit of visual difference. I don't know that there will be a difference in shrinkage, but there might be. So this is Heirloom Merino Magic 8-ply, which is surprisingly merino. The white is alpaca. It's, again, heritage, just alpaca, I think. I don't think they give it a fancy name. And that is also an 8-ply. So that is fresh on the loom. I'm hoping it will go well. I may or may not add some white at the other end, just for visual interest. And what I did not know is that this is actually a gradient, because the way that the balls looked, it just looked like it was pink and purple twisted together all the way through. And then when I was warping up, I went, oh no, we have a gradient, which is not the end of the world. It's just a little bit trickier to keep the colours in order as you weave, but it's not impossible. So that might be off the loom for next week. It might not. Now, the other thing I've been doing is Moore's bags, of course, because I've got so many cut out and I am trying to make some space, just general space, but I have made a few. That's the back of it, and that's the front of it. Look how cute this fabric is. This was a, like a wrap, like a summer wrap, but it was ripped, like one end was all shredded because the dog the dog happened to it. So I've rescued it and made a bag out of the remaining bit. And I've got some down here from some donated fabric. So this is more of a canvas. This is an upholstery fabric, which is just stunning, very lush. I've made this one as a long handle for a friend of mine, and I haven't used the same fabric for the handle because the last time I used this fabric and used this same fabric, because it is a canvas, getting through that many layers was possible, but I broke even my heavy duty needles at one point were just snapping. And I was going so slowly and so carefully, and I was using the big needles, and I just thought, I'm going to make my life easier. I will use cotton for the handles this time. And I have this one, which is bag number, hang on, let me get the handles. This is another long handled one. This is bag number 2,800 in total that I have made, which is not that impressive when you find out that's over 11 years. And this is my aunt's curtain fabric. So you may remember maybe a couple of years ago now, I made a cover for my market table out of this fabric. So this fabric belonged to my late aunt, and before she passed away, she said that all fabric and yarn should come to me because she was crafty as well. And this is part of that fabric. And my aunt bought this fabric in 2007. She moved out of her home to look after my grandmother, her mum. And then when she moved back into her home in 2007, she bought this fabric. She bought a big roll of this fabric to make curtains out of. And she put it in the corner of the front room, and it stayed there until she passed away, until she died. And then eventually it came home with me. So I've got quite a lot of this left, and I've made a few for her closest friends and chosen family, and I can make a lot more. But I just thought, let's get some bags. Let's remember this fabric, and I'll pass these out to some people who were close to Jan, my aunt. Cross stitch. Now, in one of these bags, you would think that I would be smooth and organised at this point. Absolutely not. How many of these have I done and I still don't really know what I'm doing? Don't answer that. Okay, so the last time I showed you the cross stitch, it looked like this, and it's coming along quite well. And it currently looks, oops, like this. I say oops because it wasn't quite in shot, but you'll never know because I'll edit that so well. Really, really loving it. I was loving it the last time I showed you, and I'm loving it still. I'm sad that this is discontinued. This design is no longer on their website. It was discontinued not long after I bought it. I'm not going to take that personally. And I don't know that they will release a chart for it, but I hope they do. It is still available in some stockists. I'll see if I can find one and put a link in the description for you. So I'm filling in, there's a little bit more feather to go up there. These are feathers, I think. More feather down here. But this is the width and this is the height. I meant that to sound... What I meant to say was I have done a bit at the top and a bit at the bottom, and this is how tall it's going to be and this is how wide it's going to be. It just didn't come out like that. I'm currently working on the little, which bit am I working on? This bit down here. The little pink spots on the back of that lower toucan. I need to fill all that in. I need to fill all of this in. That's the point of a cross stitch. So I am having a lovely, lovely time with it, and I cannot get over how much I love these colours and shapes. I said it last time, I'll say it again. Colours and shapes, it's all I need. So that is what is happening, broadly speaking, and that's all I have for you this week. So thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself. Have a lovely rest of your week, and enjoy the start of next week even. Let's really stretch that out. Thank you for watching. I think I already said that. Take care. I think I already said that. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.